I am your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. I was in the bathroom and this inspiration came and I really laughed. I really laughed. But I don't want to bring that laughter here. I'm speaking currently in a program in Lagos. And the theme of the program is elevate. Elevate, that is, leave a certain level to another level, a higher level. You can be elevated by your internal stimulus or actions. You can also be elevated by external inputs. So we talked about locus of action, that is locus of control, that there are two types of people. There are people who believe that their lives can be influenced, or to a large extent influenced, by the choices they make, the decisions they take, the actions they take, or the ones they do not take. And then there are others who believe in luck, and they believe in the influence of demons and all kinds of external locus of control. Then some also people believe in a balance, both internal and external. And I was using Ruth as a character study. And as I was taking my bath, something occurred to me. In Ruth chapter 3, verse 3, the Bible says that Naomi heard that Boaz was threshing his wheat that night, and she was instructing Ruth on what to do. Remember, I've talked about the eyes in information, intuition, instincts, and all that. And we have expanded it. We expanded it yesterday to include, number one, impression. Impressions matter. The Shunammite woman said that, I perceive that this is a man of God. Elisha was, I will come back to Ruth. Elisha was interacting with the woman. The woman called him to eat bread every time he passed by. So there was something she saw that made her to call Elisha to eat bread. She was a wealthy woman. Then, after some time, she told the husband, I perceive that this is a man of God. Perception is an intangible sensation, reality, conception. You can't hold perception. Say, I can perceive, I can feel, I can smell. You know, intuition is part of the eyes I told you about. So she perceived that this is a man of God. Therefore, she elevated the relationship from that of eat bread and go to the one of investing and building a house on top of her house. Roofs were flat in those days in the Middle East. Building a room on top of her house and furnished it and put a lamp so that when he comes, he could stay. That is an elevation in the level of relationship. So, perception. So, you must create this eye a good impression that people who are at a higher pedestal than you can feel comfortable lifting you up to their level. a king was a friend with a prince. And a prince was a friend with a servant, very close servant. And they were very friendly. Then got to a point, the servant asked the prince, why is it that when I go to in the palace, we relate closely, in the field we relate closely, but when we go to visit fellow kings, you treat me like a servant? The prince said that, my problem is if I take you to go and sit with kings, you will still behave like a servant. And so I am afraid of taking you to the company of kings. And so that is a challenge that most people have. They have not washed and perfumed themselves. Naomi said to Ruth, wash, change your clothes, and perfume yourself. Now, Ruth had met Boaz in the farm with farm clothes. And most probably, her beauty was not enhanced at that point, was not fully manifested at that point, and so she could not be fully appreciated by Boaz to see her as a wife material. She had integrity that now Boaz had heard about, because she had not run after the boys in the town in Bethlehem. But integrity and farm clothes servant impression is not good enough to become a wife to a rich man, to become a wife material. And so she needed to wash herself, remove the odor of Moab, the odor of widowhood, the odor of being a servant, a farm girl, to gravitate towards the direction to elevate herself to a potential wife. And so she needed to wash herself. As I was taking my bath, I was laughing. Wash your body. No carry body odor to the next level. You remember I used to do these videos in the farm, inside wheelbarrow and all that. But we have been elevated by popularity. So I have to wash and perfume myself. I had to change my clothing. Thank God people bought for me, gave me as gifts, my son-in-law, my sons, my younger ones, like this one, they bought for me. And so, because people take pictures with me everywhere, I've taken so many pictures. People do videos with me in the airport, in the plane, everywhere. So I don't want to spoil their pictures with farm clothes. So I needed to elevate by changing my clothing, I used to perfume myself to bed so that when my wife embraces me, I'm a living sacrifice with a sweet smelling savon. But now, I perfume myself anytime. Because as I was going down to eat in the restaurant, somebody knew me, they're a soldier. They will want to take pictures with me. By the time you raise your hand to embrace him, if there is Ogbonigwe coming from your armpit, it doesn't work. I had to learn how to carry myself, behave like a big boy, like a celebrity. I'm washing and perfuming myself. Change your clothing, change your identity. And then she went to see Boaz. The same thing with Joseph. Joseph was a houseboy, came with the clothing of many colors. That one was seized by Potiphar's wife. He now wore prison clothes and he was interpreting dreams as a prisoner. Now, interpret dreams in the palace, he needed to shave. Egyptians don't like beards. He needed to shave. He needed to change his clothing. So when Joseph was telling the servant from the palace, I don't know whether it's the baker now or the wine bearer, I always confuse them. He had kept clothes by the side, kept razor blade by the side, shaving stick by the side. When he was telling him, when you get to the palace, remember me. So Joseph prepared for a new identity before his elevation. He had the raw materials to reach. So there is a way I greet people now. There is a way I interact with people. I always pray in Yoruba language. Ba mi se, baba o ba mi se, aye ma bere, Ọlọ́run mi dá. Popularity is an asset. It needs to be properly managed. So you need to create the right impression. The impressions you create will generate discussions, and the discussions will become your brand. I was trekking to go get a meal at a roundabout here. Is it Mega Chicken? Somewhere in Amowo Dolphin, Mega Chicken. And people were greeting me in the streets. As I entered the place, this one will come, greet me. Thank you for what you are doing. You are encouraging us. Thank you for speaking the truth. Thank you for teaching us wisdom. I made sure I dressed well to that place. At a point, I had to run away from the place because I knew I couldn't eat there. So you must gravitate as God elevates you. Gravitate, change, wash, perfume yourself. We were in the restaurant to eat. There was a girl that came they came for a wedding. They just called her. She just said, "Yeah!" Everybody turned to look at her. She carried her Ajegule mentality to this elite hotel. And a boy that wants to marry won't marry her because she will mess up, she will quarrel. She's not the bride anyway. So first impressions matter. Impressions matter. You see the word impress. Impress. You make a mark on somebody's life. And so Ruth had to wash, perfume, change to become somebody that would appeal to Boaz for marriage. So don't carry house girl identity to a place where you are being considered for marriage. Don't carry houseboy mentality to a place where you are being considered for rulership or leadership. I was with my friend in a car, and one of my PAs was driving, and he said, "Where can we eat barbecue fish?" My PA, my former PA, said that this place, their fish is good, but it's expensive. This one is good, but it's expensive. And my friend said, "Stop that your poverty mentality. That when you are with Dr. Apoki and I, don't talk like that. Tell me where the fish is sweet and nice, delicious, not the cost." And he said, "Sorry, sir." And we went somewhere, we did point and kill, and we ate good barbecue fish with, you understand now? So he was talking with poverty mentality in a place where there was unlimited resources. I'm not saying you should be greedy, but mind your language, mind the impression you create. Now, so in Genesis chapter 41, Moses shaved because Egyptians didn't like beards then before the conquest by the Ottoman Empire where Islam came. And so there is a class you need to gravitate into. There is a level you need to be elevated into. You must know the taste, the appetite, the behavior, the conduct, the language, the attitude of the people there. If not, you will come down to where you were picked from. And so, learn this lesson. Every promotion requires a personal adjustment, requires a language adjustment, requires a temper adjustment. As I entered this hotel, somebody rushed to greet me, assuming I came here with a girl. They would know. I was telling him, I said, assuming I came here with a babe, what will he do? Say he will pretend as if he didn't see me, but he will take note of it. Okay, let me say this one. I was in a dinner recently, and I was a guest, and I was with very sophisticated people. People from the US, different places, and they served the meal. I didn't know how to eat one of those things. I didn't know what to do. So I calmed down first, pretended to be a gentleman, and I was observing them. I was observing how they ate the meal. After observing them, then I ate it so that they won't see me as a bushman. I can be very troublesome and radical, but as you grow from grace to grace, learn to be more polished, learn to be more refined. So I comported myself. Growth, elevation requires proper management like an asset. If not, you will collapse, you will crash down. It's from inside. I remain Dr. Charles Apoki.